Welcome to Strategize Your Business Online. This is the live designed for entrepreneurs like yourself who are looking for a dose of business inspo and ways to grow your business and leverage it in the online space. My name is Boswell-Buck, and I am the digital marketing strategist behind Boswell-Buck Creative Consulting. And what we do is we connect you to your target audience in the online space with strategy. So, again, welcome to the live. We are streaming right now on LinkedIn, and we are also streaming on my Facebook business page, D. Boswell Buck. We have an exciting guest here. We always have exciting guests, but we have an exciting guest here. And we are going to be doing things where we are going to take a look at different types of eyewear. So please stay tuned. And before we get started, if you can put in the chat who you are, the name of your business, who is it that you serve, how is it that you help them, and let us know where else we can find you on social media. And don't forget to leave your website. Now, introducing my guest. My guest is Wendy Buchanan, and I'm going to read her bio. Can you imagine a personal eyewear styling session right at your home or office? My guest, Wendy Buchanan, is known globally as the eyewear image expert. She is a licensed optician, image consultant, and optical style trainer. She's an award-winning optician, and she has been featured on lifestyle shows such as The Social, Breakfast Television, CHCH Morning, and Cityline, sharing eyewear fashion and style tips, and is the go-to authority for many optical trade publications. In the realm of eyewear and optical fashion, Wendy stands out at the forefront of industry pioneering eyewear style through the powerful combination of personal brand and empowerment. Her innovative approach and fashion expertise is the art of eyewear styling, and it allows her to approach each styling session with warmth and curiosity, helping you to select fashion eyewear that exudes emotion and beautifully represents your personal style. Wendy has been honored as the Trailblazing Entrepreneur in Canadian Optical for her innovative eyewear styling consultations, and she is the founder and creative force behind a personalized, one-of-a-kind mobile eyewear styling service called Perceptions Eyewear. Wendy Buchanan, welcome to Strategize Your Business Online. How are you today?
Wow, welcome. I was getting excited listening to you read my bio.
Yeah, it is so great to have you on this live. And before we get started, I just want to, we're going to find out more about Wendy, but I have a pair of glasses that I got from her. What I think maybe it was a spring, possibly, or
Yeah,
summer.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Beautiful,
enough.
subtle, sophisticated spec style. Right there. That you're like a model for one of the spec styles, Dee.
Thank you, Wendy. Well, I know I read that bio for you, but if we can start off and if you can tell me more about who you are and what it is that you do.
Yeah. Well, I am the eyewear image expert. I combined my two areas of expertise as an optician and an image consultant to create a styling service within optical that really helps people not just with a functional pair of eyeglasses, but eyeglasses that are a visual representation of their personal brand and their unique identity. And I started 26 years ago, and it was really to help people find eyewear to match their clothing style, their personality, of course, work with their facial features, but be a true fashion accessory that they love to wear.
Nice. Now, you really go into the whys and you go into more about the eyewear. Like typically
Mhm.
when people go out to get eyewear, and I know this is something that I used to do, it was I have a prescription. Let me just get something. Glasses, they help me to see. But for
Yeah.
you, there's a lot more, there are other things that are very important. So why is that?
Well, they are front and center, and I think this is where the personal brand comes in, is that it's often overlooked as a fashion accessory because we do think of it as function, and it's bringing it is already at the forefront, so why don't we just make it absolutely on brand and beautiful? And I started my career as an optician. I worked 10 years in the industry, and I was just fitting the same glasses over and over again. And to me, that became boring. So if it was boring for me as an optical professional, it had to start to get boring for the consumers that had to wear the glasses. And I made a big decision after 10 years that I would just leave. I was just, I'm
Mhm.
done. I don't want to do it because it was medical and technical, and I wasn't tapping into the fashion piece of eyeglasses. And I decided to become an image consultant. And an image consultant is a person who helps people put together their visual brand through the use of clothing and accessories. And once I started to do that, the people that wore eyeglasses would, we'd spend thousands of dollars from the neck down, and then they'd pull out their eyeglasses and they'd put them on, and there would be a complete disconnect to this brand that we'd put together from the neck down. And you really, as entrepreneurs too, I think you have to just put thoughts into action and get going, and then new things will pop up. And that's what happened for me 26 years ago. Was people started to ask for eyeglasses because they could see the disconnect. And then what I kept hearing over and over again was eyeglasses are just as hard to find glasses that look good as trying to
Mhm.
find a good fitting bathing suit. And
Mm.
yeah, that was what just kept popping up, that one phrase. And then my clients would say, "Well, you're an optician. Why don't you get me some glasses to match my clothing?" And for me, that was my aha moment. So I pivoted from, my business started out as Perceptions Image Consulting, and I changed it to Perceptions Eyewear in 1997, and
Awesome.
decided that I would just really niche down and help people with their personal brand with eyewear, and match their eyewear to their clothing style, the colors in their wardrobe, their business image, the things that they valued in life, and create something new in the industry and offer consumers a different way to buy eyeglasses.
Yeah, that's great. And I wish, I think when people hear the term brand or personal brand,
Mhm.
most tend to think about it as I have a business, or perhaps I am a leader in a particular industry. But your brand is pretty much something that describes who you are as a person, or what is it that they say? Your personal brand is what people are saying about you when you leave the room, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
and personal image is, it is about the clothing. It's about the way that we walk into a room. It's about the vocabulary, the tone of voice that we use. And then personal brand just goes a little bit deeper into what you value. What are your passions? What does that look like? And so the personal image and personal brand really flow together. And we can have a corporate brand, but if we're the face of that corporate brand, then our whole look is the visual manifestation of that brand. And so how we walk, how we talk, how we dress, how we show up, how we interact with people, the experiences we create are all part of that brand. And one thing with personal brand is how we choose to show up comes with assumptions and perceptions, which is one
Mhm.
of the things that we don't often think about. Is, if I show up this way, how are my ideal clients perceiving me? What is the assumption based on that visual representation of our brand?
Right. Now, you mentioned, and thank you for explaining that. You mentioned that you help, opticians, right? In terms of this type of in terms of helping their clients. I think about when I went to, I've been to a couple of opticians, and I just didn't see things that were there or that really fit my style. I wasn't quite sure what my style was, but I like things that are a little bit bold. I have a quiet personality, but I like to show up bold as, that as an extrovert, especially as someone in my business. And yeah, sometimes I would walk away from those particular eyewear places or eyewear brands. And I don't know, I just felt that I wish that they were able to help me. Like they just weren't able to tap into my personality. It was more about like, what is your price point? If you have benefits, like how much do your benefits cover? And I just felt that it was a lot more. And I've been following you on social media. So everybody, like, social media is powerful. I would see your content, Wendy, and I manage my time. So I'm not always like liking things, but sometimes I'm saving it and going back. And I knew that I wanted to reach out to you and get something that really embraced who it is that I am as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and glasses, and that's the thing, glasses are such a combination of medical, technical, because of course you have to see well, but
Mm-hmm.
they are front and center, and they are a fashion accessory, and they are part of your image and part of your personal brand because, well, we're in this little square. Glasses are one of the first things that we're going to see, that where people are looking at our eyeglasses and wear them. Uh, but what I did, it I think a life of an entrepreneur, we've never landed. We're never there. We're never done. We're always evolving. And my business started out 26 years ago, mobile. I came from retail optical where I had no experience on how to style eyewear. I was a good technical optical optician, but I wasn't a stylist. And what having my own business, the way that I was selling glasses, I knew was not going to be sustainable because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a storefront. I was mobile. And what I did was I would take my all my image expertise and I would use that to style people. So I was looking at clothing style, all those things I said, business image, personality traits. And I would intuitively be styling the glasses that match that based on my image experience. And then what I would do on Saturday mornings is I would sit down in front of my computer and I would analyze and break down what I did. Why did I pick that material, that shape, that color, that style? And I could see similarities for people, similarities in the style of eyewear they liked, but then that same group of people they were really good in certain professions too. They
Right.
had similar personality traits, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting now. Like, because now I'm putting a science or a methodology to what I was doing intuitively. And I created what I call the 5 spec style categories, which are all encompassing of all of those things, which is what I bring into my eyewear styling consultations for my clients, helping them find the eyewear that they love to wear, but that's also a perfect match to who they are, what their identity is, and how they want to show up. And then what's evolved over the last 6 years is a sales or a styling program that I teach to the optical industry. So those people that have optometry clinics and have optical stores, I go in and teach them my system, my methodology. So it's really been expansive and a way to help more consumers love wearing eyeglasses and not get frustrated and not find it easier than finding a good fitting bathing suit.
Yeah, my brows get a little bit like, because I think about the whole bathing suit experience. That was
Yeah.
what a great analogy. Can you maybe share a little bit more about spec style? And I understand that you've got some glasses, some eyewear
Mhm.
to share with us as well.
I do. I do. And you are, if we have you put your glasses back on, because you are the perfect example of the subtle, sophisticate spec style. Like when you put these on, you mean business. You are like serious. You look professional, maybe even corporate. I know like you're an entrepreneur, but you're not corporate, but it's like you look in charge. And that, here's another example of a subtle sophisticate. So refined, a little bit lighter material, a more classic look that is serious. Like you get things done. You have an agenda and you follow that agenda and you get things done. So that's the subtle sophisticate. This is an example of the subtle sophisticate. And then in complete contrast to the subtle sophisticate, look at how bold these are. These are the dramatic. So this is like I'm the daring dramatic. I like to show up with my eyewear. If it's the only thing you remember about me, I'm very happy because that's on brand. I'm an eyewear style expert. It's on brand that you would notice my glasses and that you would have an expectation that I would have multiple pairs and different colors. And of course, that they're going to match my wardrobe. This is another example of daring dramatic. It's almost even too much for me, but look at these.
Oh, I love them.
You know, where we're creating high contrast and stripes. And then there's the natural, which is the natural are the people that you just, they are relaxed. I think they're relaxed. They're unpretentious. You connect with people easily. You like nature. So anything kind of in the outdoorsy colors. And like the tortoiseshell is a great example. It's grounded. Tortoiseshell never goes out of style. The glasses are not like the first thing that you see. And then, then there's the inspired artist who don't want to look like anybody else.
Right.
They really, they don't care about a trend because they create their own trends, their own style. They are the creative artsy types in our world that are innovative and coming up with new ideas that are outside of the box. And then the last one is a little more romantic, little bit softer, a little bit more maybe feminine, pretty, but luxury. You love luxury. And that's kind of high level of what the spec styles are. And the really interesting thing, almost like shoes, is that we're never just one spec style. We are always combinations of 2 or 3. Your glasses, Dee, are a combination of subtle sophisticate and elegant charmer. So they mean business, but then there's also this aura of mystery and romance with them. So they're elegant and pretty at the same time, which works with your softer facial features and your soft hairstyle. And all of these things play into the material and the shapes and the colors that I style people with to match that. So it's all encompassing. It's not just one piece, it's multifaceted.
For sure. I'm remembering when I did come to your studio, and I was like so excited a week before I was going to come over, and just how I show up online. My mindset is that I help women to amplify their voices in the online space. So I wear those bright colors and standing out. And I honor how everybody wants to stand out online. My goal is to make sure that they're seen. I honestly thought that I was going to walk out with like thick frames, flash. And it was, I was just so happy. I mean, like those frames looked great, but I ended up walking away with something that was completely different than what I thought. And I have to say that because I didn't know where to start. And I thought that having those bold frames, but I ended up, walking out with something that is, the frames are not thick and bold, but they definitely stand out. And I think one of the terms that we used as I was looking in the mirror, I think we're down to like 2 pairs of glasses, and the word was quiet luxury. And I remember when you said that, I was like, oh.
And that quiet luxury is so in sync with your brand. So you do show up, you have presence, you're wearing red today, which is a bold, bright color, which shows up, but your personality is soft. You're soft in your features, you're soft with your hairstyle. Do you see how I'm changing my voice talking to you? I'm embracing that softness. But then you also have that detail, that what you do with digital marketing is detailed and helping people get on brand. And so it's taking, yes, we look at trends, and yes, we want to know what's stylish, but it's more about what is your style and how do we match what's happening in eyewear fashion to your style. And so to put big, thick, squared, bold frames on you that you had in your mind because your perception of standing out and being bold was that you had to thick, bold, square frames. Well, to put that on you is a complete disconnect to your personality. But
Yeah.
we created your strength with going a little bit oversized, but going a little lighter in the material, adding a soft angle. The other thing we did for you, if everybody's looking at your glasses now, is that we followed your brow line, but then we let it dip softly at the bridge and sweep back up. So that's the elegant, that's the quiet luxury. And we went with more muted color instead of a bright, bold color because we wanted to accentuate your strength and your detail and what you do for your clients, it be a reflection of your eyewear, but we didn't want it to take over your face.
Yeah.
Where in contrast, I'm okay with the glasses taking over my face because then when you hear me talk, my voice has a different tonality than yours.
Right.
I have more angular, sharp angles in my face. So it's congruent and authentic. Oh, if I can touch on that for a minute, authenticity,
Yes,
because I believe that that is the cornerstone piece of our personal brand, is it has to be authentic. And when it's authentic, it's just natural that you're approachable and that you build trust with your audience and your clientele too. And when you're trying to be, if we put big, bold, dramatic glasses on you, there would be a disconnect.
Yeah.
And people would just, they might not be able to put their finger on it, but they go, there's something about what she's saying and how she's showing up that's not congruent. And now I don't trust her. Does that make sense? That's
does.
how powerful. And we literally have like 5 seconds to make that first impression. When I started image consulting, it's like, oh, you've got 30 seconds to make a first impression, which at that time seemed like a short amount of time. But literally now we've got 5 seconds where people are taking in everything that you're showing them visually, whether it's your eyewear, your clothing, your hairstyle, that whole combination. And they're making assumptions and perceptions based on it. And if the way that you walk and talk and how you show up is not authentic and consistent, then you're losing them. And so and you know better than me, digital marketing, showing up. Well, what are our reels now? We've got 10 seconds, 15 seconds before they scroll by us.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And so that's that 5-second impression. If you're catching them and they're intrigued by you in that first 5 seconds, it's because you've showed up authentically and really projected your personal brand in that short amount of time.
Lovely.
It's
Thank you for
wild.
explaining.
Wild.
Yeah. A lot goes into that. So, Wendy, if you can take a couple of a minute or two and let me know, or let everyone know, what happens when the moment that someone connects with you, like the appointment is happening, what does that all look like in terms of yeah, when somebody gets to your studio, or if you happen to get to their home office or their place of business, if you can let us know what happens in that appointment.
Yeah. The first thing is I'm visually taking you in. I and I am so visual. If you tell me something from 5 years ago, I'm not going to remember it. But if you changed your front door or changed the paint color in your kitchen, I'm going to remember that. Like it's that visual connection. So I'm visually assessing someone. I'm taking in their facial features, their personal complexion, their wardrobe. I'm listening to the way that they talk, the inflection, the tonality, the way that they talk, the way that they walk. I'm visually, and then in my brain, I'm starting to think about what their spec style might be based on that visual brand that how they're showing up. But then I get really curious and I go deeper and I get curious in my questioning so that I can discover how you want to show up, and it is how you're presenting today, where you want to be, or do you have this vision of you as someone else? So you were a great example. You were like, I am ready to have my glasses just be a little bit bolder. What does
Hmm.
that look like? And we had to ask a lot of curious questions to get to that. Then I really go deep into what is your personal wardrobe look like? What are those colors? What palette of colors are they? I'm not doing a full color analysis like maybe an image consultant would do, but I'm going deep into what your wardrobe colors look like, because then I can also make recommendations that move you out of a traditional black or a traditional tortoiseshell frame, because a lot of people think, oh, I have to go, those are the two neutrals. And if
Yeah.
I just do that, then I don't have to think about it. I know they'll go with everything. But we dress in a certain palette of colors. And when we know what that palette looks like, then we can start to bring color into the conversation and into the options. And then you might have a
Right.
color and we look and it's like, does that work with everything? Of course, I'm looking at your prescription. What are your prescription requirements? I want to make sure you can see as good as you look. And then, what are the best technology and lenses that are going to give you the best vision, that are going to look the best cosmetically with your coatings? We have the blue light filters and we have the anti-reflective. And so bringing all of that into it. And what I believe is the biggest gift we can give people right now is the gift of our undivided attention. Because how many people give that? You can't get it online, you can't get it in big superstores, but to give that undivided attention where you're truly just working with that individual and really digging deeper in who they are and what they want to do. I think that's like the biggest gift. I think that's the biggest gift that I give my clients in a consultation, because it is all about them. And I want it to be a fun experience and I want them to leave on brand and empowered, like whatever their superpower is, to then go out in the world and do what they do best. And when you've got it figured out, whether it's your clothing or your eyewear, whatever piece of your wardrobe or your brand, you've got that figured out. Now you can take your eyes off yourself and give
Mhm.
all that attention to your clients throughout the day and really deliver a higher level of service too.
Well, that gift of undivided attention was well received. I left there. I left there thinking, wow, she is so patient. And like I'm the type of person who's like, ooh, I should wrap this up. They must be thinking, oh, she's asking another question. But I decided that, you were pulling out these glasses and I'm going to try on until I felt
Yeah.
comfortable with that right. I think we got down to 5, we got down to 4. But yes, you definitely gave me your undivided attention. You were very patient. You are
Yeah.
very patient. And I thank you so much. And I've got the most amazing glasses, which by the way, I am wearing this red blazer, but I I can casual it up. I could be very casual and my glasses look fantastic. So thank
Yeah.
you.
And you know what? It's not even about patience as much as it's about staying curious. I
Yeah.
am truly curious about people. Like when I meet them for the first time, they're like this blank canvas. And I'm like, okay, I just can't wait to find out who they are, what they do, you know, where do they want to go? What are their goals? What are their aspirations? And I know, and then we're just bringing it back to eyewear, but it's that whole, again, it's that whole package that I think, and I think when you're curious, and with me, understanding spec style personalities that are different than me allows me to be non-judgmental and non-biased.
Right.
And then stay curious. And then I just let you tell me or show me who you are. And then I just match the eyewear to that. And I
Yeah.
think that's my gift and that's my passion.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be wrapping up soon, but I want to know, like, I would love if you can, first of all, if you could let us know, Wendy, because I do digital marketing, so I tend to ask this question to everybody, but
Mhm.
what are your favorite social media platforms that you like to hang out on and show the eyewear and what it is that you do?
Instagram is my favorite. And then I repurpose a lot of that onto LinkedIn.
Mm,
And because I think my niche market is on LinkedIn a lot. And then Instagram, of course, Instagram is fun. And
yeah.
Instagram gives us a platform to really show up authentically, because the last thing you want to do on Instagram is be a knockoff of someone else on Instagram, because then it's like, oh yeah, I've seen this before, or that's not, again, it's that if you're not showing up authentically, people are like just scrolling by you and not paying any attention. But I love it. And I love that it's okay to not be perfect. Like
Hmm.
that I think we get so hung up sometimes as entrepreneurs that we have to be perfect. And like last week, I think I was trying to shoot a reel and I got weird thing came up and it inverted my head and I had these big teeth in my eyes. And I started to laugh because I'm like, how did that happen? I don't know what I hit, but I kept it and I kept it in my drafts. And I'm like, I'm just going to show people, because here I am trying to be all serious and show people the different spec styles and, and get it all edited perfectly. And then I do something weird like this. And I'm like, I'm going to keep that because that's real life. And
Yeah.
I'm all about, having fun. I always say, there's things that have to happen for me to work with clients or be out with my friends, or even when I'm in a teaching capacity where I'm working with optometry teams, is it has to be fun, it has to be engaging, it has to be inspiring, and it has to be impactful. And that's not just for my clients, it's for me too. So that went way off base to your question, but so Instagram,
Yeah.
Instagram, and then LinkedIn are my two big ones.
Right. Well, I highly recommend that, people connect with you on LinkedIn and definitely watch Wendy's reels. Like you have your still photos and the reels as well. What I love about the reels is
Yeah.
that they quickly take us through different styles and they're just so fun to watch. So, and then what's great is that you also have clients in there. I was one of them who,
Yeah.
we love our glasses so much that we share them. So if everyone
Yeah.
wants to get a really good perspective on what eyewear looks like on other individuals, I highly recommend that they follow you. So
Thank you.
yeah, so Wendy, we're going to wrap up, but how can people find out more about you? If you can share a couple of ways.
Yeah. So Instagram is eyewear_expert. And then my training platform, if there's optical colleagues out there listening to us, is Be Spectacular Training. And then my LinkedIn is Wendy Buchanan.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. So
Thank you.
everyone, thank you for watching. And if you are watching the replay, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. Let us know what you thought of this live and let us know where we can find you online as well. So the name of your business, who it is, who your target audience is, who it is that you serve, and by all means, like where else we can find you on social media. And I thank everyone for watching. We are streaming live on LinkedIn. We are streaming live on Facebook, and excited to let everyone know that this will also be up on YouTube as well. So, Wendy, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you for my next pair of glasses, only because, not to say that I'm unhappy with these, I absolutely love them. However, I am always in front of a screen. So you will definitely see me again for my next pair. Thank you so much, Wendy.
Thank you, Dee. That was a great conversation. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. See you next week.